Well, welcome back to our channel. I'm sure you're here because you need to change out your front struts on your Buick Enclave. Mine's a 2017, but I'll have a link down below that gives you all the filaments that are the same. I think the Acadia is the same, and Chevy Traverse, and maybe a few others. But before you get into this video, give us a thumbs up on the way in if this is interesting and helpful content for you. And let's figure out how to fix this. Let's figure out how to change the shocks. I really don't think it's as hard as what you might think. Well, I'm headed to the auto parts store because there's a few tools that I need that I don't have, and I would rather not spend big money on tools that I may not need for a long time. You might be asking, what tools would I need? I need some torque wrenches that are very expensive, and I need a spring compression tool, which can be quite expensive as well. But I'm going to pick those up at the auto parts store, such as AutoZone or Advanced Auto. What you do is they have them there that you can purchase and then use them and then return them and get a full refund. What a better way to rent tools instead of purchasing them. First off, you could put a floor jack or any type of jack under. I could put it back there, but I think I'm going to go under here. That way I can put a jack stand right there in case this fails. So we'll go ahead and pump this up. Screwdriver, you can loosen the hubcap, break all the lug nuts loose. Now this is this handle, this breaker bar I got from the AutoZone, and they said if I return it within 90 days I get full price of money back. So why buy your own? And now that I broke them all loose, now we can finish jacking up the tires and pull the wheel off and run it out of the way. Okay, I put a jack stand under there to loosen up pressure on the jack, floor jack. So now I'm ready to remove this shock or strut assembly. Next, you will remove this ABS sensor cable, or it's a wheel speed sensor. Remove this out of the way. Okay, there's two ways of doing this. You can either use a pair of vice grips and grab a hold of the back side, but then you run the risk of damaging the rubber on the sway bar, the knuckle. So you could use an 18 millimeter on the nut, and there's a little stud that sticks out that's on the bolt. It's a 9 millimeter, and you can kind of hold it still with the socket and then break it loose with the 18 millimeter. So it takes a little while. Hey, we got time, right? So we're holding what we're doing here, as you're seeing, we're holding the sway bar knuckle tight with my left hand, which is a 9 millimeter socket, and I'm loosening the nut with the 18 millimeter. This bolt has grooves in here that it pushes in to keep it from turning, so you don't necessarily need anything on that end. But on the nut side, it's 24 millimeters, but a 15/16 is very, very close. So you just gotta break that loose. Okay, you break the top one loose, then you break the bottom one loose. Take the nut off, then go ahead and mark this. Don't necessarily have to, but it would make it easier to put the knuckle back into place where it was before you removed it. Okay, now that you got the nuts off, get yourself a heavy hammer, pound the nuts out. Make sure you hit it solid, otherwise you don't want to mushroom the threads. See the grooves inside there and on the bolt? That's what holds it tight inside that for turning it. So now what we'll do is we'll pull this out, and then you want to be really careful that with this hose, you don't want this falling out, because look how this is coming apart like that. So what we'll want to do is we'll want to put ourselves a strap or something around here to keep this from falling down. So you can use any type of strap, actually. So, like that. Now that we got the bottom of the shock strut assembly broken loose, now we got to pop the hood and we got to remove a bunch of things there to get access to the top of the shock. Let's head to the top. Okay, now we need to access the top of the shocks. How do we get to it? Everything's closed up. How in the world? So we got to remove a bunch of things here. So we'll try to make it quick and simple for you. Make sure you get a trim removable tool or a screwdriver if you'd like to take the risk of not breaking any of these tabs. But this here is $10 at the auto parts store. I'll put a link down below if you're ordering, getting your parts already ahead of time. First, we got to remove this ground, and it's a 15 millimeter. So we need to remove this. You might be asking, why move that? What's that have to do with the shock? Well, we got to take this cowling off, and this gets in our way. And it looks like there's 10 clips, push clips that you use this tool I explained earlier. So when you pull these clips out of, like right here, and 9 other spots in here, how this works in case you're not familiar, this little piece on top's got to come out to allow this to squeeze in and come up out of the hole. So let's go around here and take the other 9 out. Now that we had this cover all loose, then there's 2 more right here that we have to take off on this end and this end. So we got this loosened up here, and now we'll take this cover off. This whole cowling's not come off because right below here is where the shocks top mounts that out. All we do is go take these 4 push pins across here. So let's take those out. Now we got the last one. Oops, that popped out of there. Okay, now that we got the front of the cowling loose, it looks like the next step, in order to get this to come up, we got to get rid of windshield wipers. So that's a 15 millimeter. So we'll go ahead and remove them. And then you're probably wondering, how do I get the wipers off? Man, I pull and pull and pull. Well, what I did is I grabbed on this end and then pushed up and down like that. Did that a couple times, moved it back and forth, and it popped right off. And then on each side here, we gotta take this out. That just pops up out of there like that. See the tab? See, there's not much room here, so you gotta remove this fuse box cap. So you just kind of push in on that to loosen that up. Same way on this side, and that just comes right up off of there like that. There's one back behind here. That comes off like that. Now that we have this loose, we don't really need to be on this side just yet, but over here on this side. So we just kind of prop this up out of the way. There, kind of move these washer fluid hoses out of the way. And so now we should be able to get down in there. See that? Okay, now we need to get the top of the shock removed, taken apart. Anyhow, what tools you need is a 15 millimeter deep well. Won't work if it's a short one. It has to be a deep well. Extension. Go in here and take off, loosen them all up, and take off and loosen. Take the 2 nuts off. And let the third one on. I already took off 1 nut, loosened up the second one, and then grab a hold of the shock with your right hand. Take the nut off of the third one up top, and kind of be careful taking this down out here because you don't want to hit this brake line. Take it down like that, and we'll pop this out like this. We got this bad boy out. It was a little bit of work, but it wasn't that hard. It just takes some time. Now we take the other shock. This is what it looks like. Now you're asking, what's next? We got to transfer the spring and all the parts onto this shock. And you might be thinking, man, how do I get this off? Because you got to put a string or spring compressor on that. Go ahead and click on that link up top right corner if you want a short video showing you how to take the spring off, because you may have bought the assembly with the spring already on it. Okay, here we got the shock. You want to use one hand to pick the shock up and stick it up in. Just kind of go up and under like that and back up through and stick the bolts up through here and get one started. With your other hand, you want to snug them up with a ratchet, but let them loose some so that the whole assembly can move back and forth. Okay, now we got it lined up top. Down below you can see, look how far it's off. So what I did is I moved this over because this whole hub assembly kind of dropped down some, but to make it easier, I'm going to jack that up right into place. Okay, I put the top one in, and I kind of pull this towards me so that this bolt will line up. Tighten that side up, pull that bolt right into the knuckle. You don't want to do it too tight because you want to torque them. And torque them to 144. Now you can see that this won't line up, so I'll go ahead and jack this up until that lines up. There. Now we can stick the note on that, and then you torque it to 37 foot-pounds. Then you go ahead and put the speed sensor wire back in place, and then go ahead and torque them, snug them up good, the nuts, after you get the wheel on, of course. 22 millimeter, snug them all up, and then torque them to 140 foot-pounds cross pattern like that. Okay, now next is tightening these up to 33 foot-pounds. Okay, we got the top of the shocks bolted down. And now we need to put this cowling back into place. You can kind of see how it's not centered up here. And you got some clip right here you need to put underneath. So make sure that's all down underneath. Then we'll go ahead and put this cover back in and snap those push pins, trim back in place. We'll put this cover back on, put that bracket on, the ground, external ground, and then we'll lay that cowling back here, well, not cowling, but a cover over here, and push those 10 clips back. The shock replacement, or should I say strut assembly replacement, has been a success. Now there's quite different options here, as you can see, and thank you for understanding the struggles I went through doing this. Most likely you'll go through the same ones, and I included that in the video just to share with you. Things don't always go the way somebody on YouTube is showing you, and you need to know what you're up against and make sure you have enough time to do that. If you saw this content helpful, give us a thumbs up on the way out. Appreciate it, and like always, have a great day.